A room and a screen look like the same thing. You show up, people watch you, ideas get shared. Same basic transaction, right? They're not the same thing at all. In a room, attention is built into the architecture. People bought a ticket, or they registered, or they blocked time on their calendar. They drove there or logged in at a specific time. They sat down, they put their phone away, or at least felt like they should, and pointed themselves in one direction. And that attention didn't happen because of anything the speaker did. It happened because of how the room was designed. The room required it. Now, online, none of that exists. The viewer didn't commit to anything. They came across something in the middle of doing something else half the time. They're one tap away from leaving at any moment with zero friction and zero consequence. Nobody knows if they leave. Nobody's sitting next to them. There's no social cost to checking out. You've felt both sides of this. You've been in a room where you were locked in before the person ever even started, not because they had earned it yet, just because that's what the room did to you. And you've been online where even someone you already respected, someone whose work you followed for years, couldn't hold you past the first 30 seconds. And that's because something else pulled you away. The same ideas and the same person, completely different results. And I've watched this play out firsthand. 20 years ago, we were trying to take what was happening in the leadership event in our room, 1,000 people in a room, and translate it via satellite to 30,000 people across 300 companies. And it never quite worked the same way. Then streaming arrived in 2014, and we thought live video would finally solve it. Same problem, different technology. The environment changed, but the challenge didn't. And what we kept learning every single time was that the room was doing something that the screen just didn't do automatically. The room gave you a captive audience. Online, there's no such thing. Every second someone stays is a choice they're actively making. And what drives that choice has almost nothing to do with the content. It has everything to do with whether the environment around them is giving them a reason to stay before they've heard enough to decide on their own. Most people approach being online the same way they approach a room. They prepare what they're going to say. They work on the idea and the delivery, and those things matter. But in a room, you're working with the architecture. Online, you're working against it, unless you understand what it actually requires. Because what's really at stake isn't whether someone watches, it's what happens to the idea once it reaches them. Whether it ever gets a real chance to work, whether it's taken seriously enough to be used or to return to or trusted in a moment that actually matters, or whether it passes through like everything else, seen, maybe appreciated, and then it's gone. Most people never think about it that way. They just wonder why the room felt different.